welcome to my studio and welcome to another week with Dala Creative TV. This week I'm going to continue to make South African inspired ornaments for our tree. Okay, so if you look on the internet, most of the Christmas decorations in store is inspired by snowmen and snowflakes and reindeers and sleighs. But in South Africa, we have summer and we celebrate Christmas on the beach or with a braai out in the sun. And I decided that instead of snowflakes, I'm going to make suns. And instead of reindeer, I'm going to use these kudu heads that I had in my studio. And then I also have these little African cutouts that I'm going to use. These days, it is so easy to find someone close to you with a laser cutting machine that can do custom-made shapes just for you. I would suggest that you Google to find somebody in your area that you can contact. I'm going to start by turning these round discs into suns. I'm going to use Dala's colored popsicle sticks and I'm just going to cut it at an angle to create sunbeams. I used 2 popsicle sticks per disc, and I also found some yellow felt that I cut in round discs to glue at the back to just finish it off and make it look neat and tidy. Because the wood absorbs the paint and my yellow looks a bit too faded, I am going to give my discs a layer of canvas primer before I paint the yellow craft paint over it. Now that it is dry, I'm going to give it 1 or 2 layers of the yellow craft paint to create my bright, warm African suns. Okay, I've given them 2 coats of paint, and while I was painting I thought they look a bit flat, so I found this stencil and I'm just going to give it some texture by adding some Dala texture paste with this stencil. Now that my texture paste is dry, I turned around my discs, glued the sunbeam popsicle sticks to the back, and I'm just going to finish it off by gluing a piece of felt to cover everything. You will notice that I also glued a piece of orange twine to my sun to be able to hang it on the tree. decorate beautiful African suns for our Christmas tree. I'm just going to trim the Sharpie points of the popsicle stick so that if my granddaughter comes to our house that she won't hurt herself. Okay, so I'm going to collage my kudu heads with serviettes or napkins. And the reason why I use the napkin is because when I wet it, it is easier to trim the sides than normal collage paper. So I'm using gel medium just to collage the napkin onto the kudu head. So while the kudu heads dry, I'm just going to paint my African continents in 3 different craft colors. And while I do that, I will think of a way to decorate it. Okay, so the thought of dot art came up while I was thinking what to do on these continents. I have only tried it once or twice on a small scale. So I'm going to use some white flow acrylics and I'm going to add a little bit of the flow medium to it before I use a dot art tool to make dots on my African continents. Can be quite time consuming and you need a lot of patience for this, but it's also very relaxing to do the dots. Okay, my gel medium on my kudu heads are dry and I'm just going to paint the sides and the back with black paint to finish it off. While the back of my kudu heads are drying, I'm going to use natural twine to make strings for my African continents. I'm using a small piece of pipe cleaner and glue it to the back of my kudu head so that I can bind it and attach it to my tree. And there you have it, beautiful South African inspired Christmas tree ornaments. I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye for now.